tonight, speaking of big-time football games involving big-time teams, and one of them from the state of Michigan, in Detroit, Michigan this evening on Thursday Night Football is, in fact, the game of the week, and certainly in the NFC to date, game of the year. This is it for so many reasons. Certainly because we're not seeing the Lions take on the Eagles. And I know there may be, in the regular season, and I know there may be some Vikings fans saying, well, what about when the Vikings went into Green Bay and beat them back in week number 4? What about that one? Well, it was just a month into the season. What about, say, when Detroit went into Minnesota and won that game, with Minnesota suffering its first loss of the season in a game in which they were winning, but Detroit won it in the end? That was week 7. This is week 14, folks. And this is where rubber's meeting the road, because the Detroit Lions have won 10 in a row and have, as the Niners have gotten completely banged up and are now in the position of needing to win out just to win their division and get back into the tournament to defend its NFC championship from last year. And certainly with the NFC North being the best division in football, and certainly with the Cowboys entering this week at 5-7, and the Eagles not having any competition within its division, and certainly the NFC North not putting forth a candidate to crash a party with any significance based on the way they're currently playing. The NFC North is where it's at in terms of heavyweights swinging at each other for the right to win the division. And if the Packers want to win this division, if the Packers have any designs of hosting a playoff game in Lambeau Field this year, tonight's the night to do it. If they lose, that ship sails. It's gone. They'll have to go on the road to start their playoff campaign and try and win 3 in a row to get to the Super Bowl. That's a fact coming off of tonight. They will have been swept by Detroit. Detroit will be 12-1. They will be 9-4. And they will be essentially getting set to go on the road to face either the winner of the NFC North or the NFC West. A winnable game in the wild card, certainly if it's a team that won and done the Cowboys last year from the 7 seed, from the depths of the 7 seed.
Is that less impressive now?
So, sure, they can do it. But tonight, for them to put their calling card on the table and say, we can win this division, we are 100% one of the overlooked. But not after tonight. And they went into Detroit last Thanksgiving and started that road to the playoffs last year. Can they do it tonight against a team that has not lost since they were 1-1 in a spot that will be in full froth this evening?
That's a good way to describe it.
That will have all day to drink the Motor City oil and get ready for tonight's game. And be there with a full complement of rest for both teams. They played on Thanksgiving. So this is awesome. I love this game every year on Thursday night. There is not a short week situation. They have both been off for the requisite regular amount of time. And for the Lions, this is a way for them to eliminate one of their stout division opponents, one of their ways to keep putting their calling card on the table to say, we are the inevitable team in the NFC. We are the best teams in the NFL. We are Super Bowl bound. There's lots of games between now and then, but tonight is a night for them to put a calling card on the table and say it. And also, quiet any of the naysayers who have seen them throw 5 interceptions in Houston but still overcome it, to see them struggle in the second half against Chicago to close out that game and still win it, for them to, yes, boat race some competitors, but they're also AFC South, bottom of the division dwellers, for them to take those naysayers who may not have them atop their power rankings list anymore and tell them bad choice. Bad choice. And it's another way also, writ large, as they've got Buffalo coming in next week, another way for them to also stay a step forward of the team that a lot of people, including yours truly, put atop their power rankings in the Eagles. If they don't want to go to Philadelphia and they want Philadelphia to come to them, tonight is a night for them to put a calling card on the table and say, you're still getting on a plane, Saquon, as far as we're concerned. That's what's at stake tonight on Prime Video. And you could see that right here on the Roku portal, through your Roku portal. Fun stuff.
Yeah, really fun stuff. One of the matchups I'm looking at, so I was looking up right now, some team stats. Green Bay is 5th in total rushing yards. Detroit is 4th. Detroit is 5th in rush defense. What's going to give?
Dude, Detroit's defense, I believe Schefter Instagrammed this out today. Detroit's placed 13 players on its defense on injured reserve this year. 13. Including Aiden Hutchinson, as we all know, who was in line to start the season for a Defensive Player of the Year candidacy. 13 defensive players placed on injured reserve this year on defense.
Yeah, and they're in the
really is impressive.
They're in the bottom third in passing yards allowed. So, this could be a Jordan Love game. What receiver is going to have the game tonight for Green Bay? It's kind of been a roulette, whether it's Watson one game, Reed one game. Is it a Wicks game? Who knows? But that's another thing to watch.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Going to be a lot of fun. And again, that's on Prime Video tonight. And you could see that right here on Roku. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.